and welcome to Vlogmas Day 3. I hope you're all having a lovely Friday. Happy Friday. Today is Christmas gift guide day, and last year I realised that in previous Christmas gift guides I'd worn this Christmas jumper. I'm going on about this because I always start about talking about my Christmas jumper. So this has now become Christmas gift guide jumper. So if you see me in this, it's probably because it's Christmas gift guide day. So this is a H&M jumper that I got from H&M many years ago. It's sort of thin material, and it has candy canes on it, Christmas trees, ho ho ho. There's pizza on there somewhere, cracker, where's pizza? Pizza slice. And yeah, I think it was like really cheap. It was like $6.99 or something. But yeah, get it out every year, wear it for the Christmas gift guide. It's quite good if you want to, because sometimes the places crank the old heating up, don't they? So this is quite a good long sleeve one to wear once the heating's cranked up. Today is Christmas gift guide day. So here in this Christmas gift guide, there will be Christmassy presents, well, Christmas presents, bookended, and in the middle of the gift guide will be books. So there's a bit of both here, so bookish books in the Christmas gift guide and also gifts. So previously, and I will link my Christmas gift guides down below because I believe I still stand by them, ones that I've done in the past. Oh, she's leaning on this chair, isn't she? Casual. I'll link them down below. And what I used to previously do was books and bookish items. But now I tend to, well, starting from last year, I started just doing like gifts that I think are also nice gifts. So hopefully that will be helpful to you, because a lot of these things aren't, apart from the books, aren't bookish. However, they're tried and tested by me because we've either received them as a gift or I'll be giving them as a gift. If you know me in real life, I think you'll be all right. I'm not going to mention anything by name who I might be giving these things to. I mean, a lot of it's my niece and she definitely won't be watching. So yeah, so shall we start then? If we start with the actual gifts, let's start with stocking filler stuff. So it's down here because it's all in a box. I've been desperate to get it out, but I've been being a good girl and not getting it out until we're done, until I've filmed with it. So stocking filler stuff, so or just like Secret Santa gifts, little cheaper gifts. Everything in this box is £6 or less. I've got them all from an independent shop which is based in Leamington Spa called Berylune. If you go on their website, it's a really nice website to sort of like negotiate your way around. It's very separated into nice sections, and you can just get all sorts of little bits that are nice Christmas gifts to give. And as I said, it's from an independent shop, so you're avoiding sort of like Amazon and things like that, and supporting an independent shop. Also, if you know any other independent shops that do little things like this, do write them in the comments below, because it would be nice to support maybe a local shop and say whereabouts in the world or the UK it is. But yeah, as I said, everything that I'm going to show you is £6 or less. I think £6 might be the new £5 because I struggled to find things that were £5 or less, but everything in here is £6 or less. And everything was just wrapped beautifully and arrived beautifully. So like I said, it's from an independent shop, so you're shopping independently, but also everything came sort of in sustainable. There's no, I don't think there's any plastic in here. One thing is plastic, but I will get onto that later. But everything was like come in little paper bags with stickers on and things like that, and or unwrapped, which was lovely. So let's start with some of the stuff. So there's a lot of candles in here, guys, starting with these two, which are orange beautiful Christmas tree candles. This one, the bigger one, is £6. I feel like I'm holding them. Like, I could make these the same size, couldn't I? Can I? Depth perception. The bigger one is £6, the smaller one was £4, and they're just lovely. They're sort of like bright colours. They had other colours on there, but you know me, I like a bright colour. I don't know if I will like these because they're just so pretty, but I'll definitely find a nice corner of my house to put them in. And yeah, they arrived like that, unwrapped, so yeah, that's nice. And that's sort of like a winter decoration, so even if you were to get somebody that for Christmas, they could use it in winter or get it out every year, so which is really nice. I'll save all the children's bits till last then, and then if we do, I've got to remember what some of these things are, and some of them I'll be opening them for the first time. Right, let's do all candles then. So another thing, I bought 2 dinner candles, which are always helpful, and they do a whole range of these in all different colours, and these ones I think were called wine red. And then I bought a few a dinner candle, I think they're called dinner candle or tapered candles holders. So yeah, that's those two. And then I also got this, which is so nice, and I think this will go really nice. I really like sort of pink and green together, so I feel like I can't, because they're not, I can't put it in properly yet because they're still attached. But this candle holder, which is in the shape of a star and is green and lovely. They had those in all different colours as well, so that's nice too. Then this one, which actually David's mum has something similar to this at her house, and she bought it in H&M, and I've got a feeling they were more expensive in H&M. So this is a double-sided candle holder. That side is the taper candle, this side is a like a tea light, or maybe even a bigger one, and I just really love it. And they had that in all different colours as well, so I also thought that would go nice with, I've got all sorts of candle holding stuff here. And then the last candle holder, this one I thought was so cute when it arrived. I don't know what I was expecting, but I don't think I was expecting this. So it's on the website, it looked like it was maybe made out of ceramic or something. This is a little bunt tin. This was made in Denmark actually, and it's a candle holder in a little bunt tin. Isn't that so lovely? And that's made out of some sort of metal, but very cute. So I'm going to enjoy putting candles in those guys. So that's the candles. I might even hang on to these to do some, like, because you could even, like, you are buying stocking fillers, like they're ready wrapped for you. And then if I carry on doing, I'm just checking there's nothing else bigger in here. No, there's not. And then the last sort of thing I got from there was another little stocking filler, which I thought would be a good idea. And I'm very much a person to like making things last a bit longer. So here they did all sorts of, and she's opening it, all sorts of different soaps. Christmas soaps, all sorts of different ones. This one is, it's like vanilla-y flavour, and they're in this sort of, they're by a special like company that make French soaps. And then I bought, which I thought would be a good idea, and they also had lots of different, oh, this one says Joyous Fêtes. What does that mean in French? Joyous celebrations? Is fête celebrations? They also did, which I thought was very good and reasonable, and was £2.50, this little soap sack. So you can buy a soap and a little soap sack. That will cost you about £7 for the lot. Pop it in there, and then that's going to make your soap go so much farther. And also, it can hang in the shower. So there's no plastics. You're not using shower gel anymore. And yeah, you can reuse that all the time. Every time you get a soap, pop it in there. So I've just thought that was a really good idea too. Well done me for all the good ideas. Then the last three things are for my niece, little children's gifts. And as I said, everything here was under £6. So I bought my niece a little cup, a Christmassy cup, which she has been using every time she's come round on the run up to Christmas. And this is by a company called Rice, which, and I think they're Danish. I think they're set in Denmark, yeah. And David and I own a few things of this. It's made out of like melamine, I think, but very hardy, and like it's printed, so this will never rub off. It can go in the dishwasher, everything. So yeah, that is the only plastic thing that I've bought, but she bloody loved it when she saw it. She's just over 2, and like drinking out of a cup, she's getting some thrills out of that, let me tell you, rather than a sippy cup. And then I also got her some egg-shaped chalks, which I thought would be really fun. And they come in this box, and as you can imagine, they are chalks in the shape of eggs. So I thought she'd really like that for drawing on pavements or even drawing on things, and I just thought they were really cool. So I thought they'd be a good little thing. We're getting her bits this year, you know, guys, because there's no sort of like one big thing. She's just going to be off her head unwrapping stuff. She's not even going to really know what's going on. And then the last little thing I got was some little, these are very cute. Oh, I'm double unwrap. I don't really want to unwrap them. I'm going to. She'll understand. Let's see if I can get this sticker off nicely. There's no way I can get it off. These are little transfers that you can put on jeans or bags or t-shirts and things. And I just think she'll really like them. There's a cookie. There's a cup of milk with a little smiley face on it. And there's a little ice cream. So yeah. All lovely bits from Berylune. So I won't link the bits individually because I bought these a while ago. I'm sure there's still a lot of it around, but yeah, I'll link the website down below and just go wild on there. So that's the first thing. We're 8 minutes in and we've only just done the first thing, not even on 20 books yet. I hope you're settled in. The next thing I wanted to show you was a website called Thought. Now this is a gift that I have received. So my good friend and your good friend Jen Campbell, a few years ago, and it is a good few years ago now, I think it might be the first year I did Outfits October, so we're talking like 3 or 4 years ago, she bought me a set of 4 socks from a company called Thought. They were all autumnal patterns, so this one has like leaves and acorns on, some others had acorns on, just leaves, so a spotty pair, and they are from, as I said, a company called Thought, and all of their socks are made from bamboo, so they're a sustainable, sort of conscious, thoughtful company that do all sorts of things, but I'm focusing mainly on, when I say all sorts of things, I mean like all sorts of clothes, but I'm focusing here on the sock aspect because I have worn their socks and they're amazing. So as I said, Jen bought these for me like 3 or 4 years ago. They are still I reach for these socks every day. If there is a pair of that 4 set of socks that she bought me, I wear them all the time. They have just washed up. These I've literally taken off today, and they are so, like, they're just so nice and stretchy. They wash up perfectly. They keep their bright colours. There's no holes in them or anything. And honestly, like, these are the only socks I wear, and I think they're amazing. So that's just a pair. That's just to highlight how good they wash up. I've also got a pair of Christmassy ones on today with snowmen on that my friend Emma got me for Christmas, not last year, the year before, and they're still just as brand new. And then I bought myself some socks from there that I've yet to wear because I wanted to show you the gorgeous pattern, packaging they arrive in, although these ones I have worn. So these were slipper socks I bought earlier this year. These were £12, and again, like, sustainable. And their tagline on their website, they've got a whole host of information on their website about how they're a sustainable company, but they have said that fashion and sustainability can work hand in hand, which I'm all for. So yeah, lovely cozy socks. And then the ones that I haven't opened, so this is just to show how they arrive. So also, as well as having like beautiful socks, they've also got like quite tailored hobby socks. So like, this is a book sock, so you can see open books with little glasses, and they come in all different colours as well. They also had like bike riding, gardening, knitting, dogs, like all sorts of like things that people might be into. A lovely pair of socks, and these are £6.95, so again, quite good for a Secret Santa or a little stocking filler. And yeah, just, they're going to last you forever. And then the last thing was, like, if someone wants socks, because there's always someone who wants socks. David's dad normally is the person who wants socks. This sadly isn't for David's dad, this is for me. And this is a whole set of their sustainable socks. So this is 7 pairs for £35. So as I said, they're normally £6.95, so there's like £5 a sock. And you can get this rainbow collection. I mean, I'm so excited to start wearing these. Look. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, bit more blue, and purple. And yeah, they're lovely. And they're made out of bamboo, and they're just gonna last me forever. I don't think I've ever had just one colour pair of socks, and I'm so excited to wear them. And I just think they're really presented nicely. And yeah, they're a great company. And if it's socks you're after, there's only one place for them. So those are the 2 gifty things this end of the video. Now we're going to move into the books before we move on to the gifty things the other end of the video. And the books, hurrah, hurrah. So there are, I think there was supposed to be 10, but I kept thinking, oh yeah, that would be really good for that sort of situation. So I think there's 13 books here now, but hopefully there'll be something in there that can help you out with any sort of Christmassy gift giving situation. So I'm going to start with stocking filler books, or maybe books that are good for Secret Santas or on the sort of like cheaper side. I will start with Empress and Aniya by Candice Carty-Williams. Look at that lovely bit of gold foil, and this is a necklace with Empress and Aniya written on it with like little charms hanging off of it. Now, Candice Carty-Williams wrote the book Queenie, which is one of my favourite books. If you've been around on this channel for a while, you would have seen that's a book. That's also a really good book if you want to buy someone a book this year for Christmas, but I think I've mentioned it in a past gift guide. And this is Candice Carty-Williams' new book, which is a YA novella about friendship, and particularly friendship between these 2 girls, Empress and Aniya. And it's also got like a witchy twist in there as well. So it's very warm, very short. It's barely even 100 pages. Oh, it's 131 pages. And it's just lovely. It's about Empress starting a new school and becoming friends with Aniya, and then just how sort of friendships unfold, like them not particularly getting on very well to begin with, and then finding out what they've got in common or what they haven't got in common, and building a friendship on this. And like I said, with a witchy twist on it. So yeah, this was £7.99, and I actually got it from bookshop.org, which is a website where you can buy from independent bookshops, and it was cheaper than £7.99. So I think you would be able to get this for cheaper than that, and it might well fit into your Secret Santa budget, or it would be great for young, like a school friend, or to put in a stocking of a teenager, or even, I ain't no teenager and I still had a lovely time with it. So that's the first one. And then next up we've got The Hill We Climb by Amanda Gorman. This is the inauguration poem that she read at the inauguration of Joe Biden. And I loved watching that when it was happening and when it was unfolding, and I was like, who is this amazing girl with the bright yellow coat and a bright red headband? So when the publisher contacted me, because the publisher sent me this, to say we'd love to send you a copy of it, I was like, yes please. And this has a foreword by Oprah Winfrey in it. So it's a lovely book to sort of sit and relive that moment and the strength behind that poem, and the strength I take from that poem. My favourite bit in it is the closing words, which says, "For there is always light if only we're brave enough to see it, if only we're brave enough to be it. And I know this sort of like would span many generations, because I read this and had a lovely time. My mum was like, oh, can I borrow that after you? Borrowed it off of me, read it, had a lovely time. My sister then borrowed it off of me. So I think there's a whole host of audience for people who might be into this. And it says here £9.99, but again, I think you could probably get that cheaper in other shops, but a lovely little book to open. And then one that I haven't got here with me, but I thought it would be here with me. I bought it for 2 people for Christmas and the book order hasn't arrived yet. So that is The Appeal by Janice Hallett. You may have seen me reading this earlier in the year and having a lovely, lovely time with it. It's a murder mystery book told through emails and text messages and minutes from parish council meetings and notes left on people's windscreens and things like that. So this whole multimedia host of ways that people are communicating with each other. And there's, at the heart of the novel, there is a murder that's taken place, and 2 law students are looking at all this communication and trying to work out who did it and why. I was so swept up in this. I read it literally in like 2 nights, and if I hadn't had work, I probably would have read it, like I would have stayed up all night reading it and finishing it. I have recommended it to many people since, and they've really enjoyed it. And yeah, just a complete page turner. And I really think like crime novels and thrillers and things like that, they do sort of appeal to everyone. I really think this would be a page turner for many people. The 2 people that I bought it for this Christmas are completely different people, and I really think that they will both really enjoy it. And I really loved it, and I've just known so many people that have really enjoyed it. So hopefully that would be, and that's a really popular one. So I think if you buy books at supermarkets or something like that, you'd probably be able to get it for about £5. Similarly, I've just bought it on an independent bookshop website, and I got it for £7.47. So there we go, cheap still. Very good. And then if we move on to something that's got a Christmassy feel but isn't necessarily Christmassy, because I'm all for receiving Christmassy books at Christmas if I can get them read by the time the Christmas season's over, because then I'm on to like new books and things like that. But this has got a sort of like warm Christmassy glow but isn't a Christmassy book, and that's The Cat Who Saved Books by Suzuki Natsukawa. I read this earlier this year, and actually I appeared on a book break gift guide video earlier this week, and I mentioned it on there as well. So it's being recommended from 2 videos from me this week. That's how much I enjoyed it. And yeah, like I said, it's full of warmth and coziness, and like I said, just a sort of like golden glow around it. You're following a young lad whose grandfather has died, and then Rintaro, the guy, the young lad, takes on his grandfather's bookshop and is visited by a cat, this here little ginger cat that looks so much like my cat Tigger, who I used to call Tinky Winky. And he's visited by this cat, who then takes him on a series of sort of like missions to help people or stop people from destroying books or treating books in the way that they don't deserve to be treated. So it's a great sort of story there, and like with great moral tales, but also I think, as well as it being having this lovely like Christmassy glow around it, it's made for book lovers. So if you've got someone who loves books, or who loves reading, or who loves bookshops, then this is perfect, because it's about people who love books, it's about people who love reading, and it's set in a bookshop. So yeah, I would really highly recommend that one as well. Then a couple of non-fiction bits, and these are actually both books. One that I received again from Jen. That's two presents that I've received from Jen in the past, and I've actually given something from this series as a gift as well. So this is a collection of essays which are published by Daunt Books. There's actually 3 of them now, but these are very good for sort of hobbyists, and if someone's got a particular love in their life, then you can sort of give them an essay collection revolving around that. So the one that I was sent was In the Kitchen, which is essays on food and life, and Jen gave this to me for my birthday last year. I'm a big home cook. I really love cooking, following a recipe, sort of maybe making it up as I go along. I'm not so much a baker, but I'm really someone who loves eating and cooking for other people. And this is a whole collection about food and kitchens. One of my favourite ones in here is an essay where the writer talks about different ovens or different cookers throughout their life. So talking from the cooker that they had when they were a child, to when they moved here, when they were a student, and what they had when they bought their first house, when they upgraded their oven and things like that. So there's all sorts in there, and yeah, love that one. So that's probably for the cook or the food lover in your life. Then there's also At the Pond, which is focusing on swimming at the Hampstead Ladies Pond. Now, I'm not a swimmer. But I was very, very intrigued by this sort of Hampstead Ladies Pond community and going swimming through all seasons and things like that. And this book, and I love seasonal split ups, is split into seasons. So it starts with winter and talks about the people. So everybody who has been here, all the essays in here are from people who have swum at Hampstead Ladies Ponds. And there's all sorts of essays in there. There's essays from what it's like to swim seasonally, to what it's like to just be a summer swimmer, to like things focusing on like what it's like to be a trans woman swimming at the Hampstead Ladies Pond. And actually, for the first time, I was on Hampstead Heath last week or earlier this week, and we walked past it. Me and Jen walked past it, and I was like, oh, there it is. So that's very exciting. And then there's a third book, and I wish I'd thought about this ahead, because I actually bought this for my dad for his 60th birthday earlier this year, and that's In the Garden, and that's a collection of essays. I'll insert a picture of it here. They all very much look the same. They're also gorgeous books as well, with lovely old French flaps. And different colours on the end papers. Yes, that was In the Garden, and obviously focuses on things that are in the garden. But keep an eye out for these, because there might be more of these coming out as well. But yeah, I definitely think to sort of maybe hone in on someone's hobby would be a good idea. Then I've got 2 cookbooks. I love getting a cookbook for Christmas, and I love giving a cookbook for Christmas. I think it's the gift that keeps giving, really, because you can make things from it all year round, and you can find favourite recipes, you can share, you can lend. I'm a big fan of lending out cookbooks and looking at other people's cookbooks when I go to their houses and things like that. So to give cookbooks is one of my favourite things. So I've got 2 here. The first one is One Pot 3 Ways by Rachel Amma, and this is great. These are vegan recipes. So this is, everything in here is vegan. But what I love about this is that she gives you a base recipe for something. So here I go, I'll turn to this one, and she'll show you how to make. In fact, this is one that I've made many times. So she'll say you can make Thai basil plant-based mince, and she gives you the details for that. But then after the base recipe, she gives you 3 ways to sort of like have that food. So you could make that Thai basil plant-based mince, keep it in your fridge, and then the next night have it with brown rice and butter lettuce salad, or teriyaki mince bibimbap bowl, which is what I had it as, or hoisin mince stir fry. So there's lots of things like this. Another thing, also, this is, I've made quite a lot out of here. These were amazing. So this is Cajun beer battered oyster mushrooms, which were fantastic. And then it shows you how to have them with garlicky crushed new potatoes, which is how we had them. But you can also have them in an American style chicken pickle sandwich, or Cajun tacos with pickled red onion and tartar sauce. And there's all sorts in there. Like, and as I said, it's all vegan. Some are a bit easier than others, but I really like the thought of like a base recipe and then being able to make that into something else, because you could get really good at all the base recipes in here and then learn the other bits as well, and just sort of, it's nice to have these recipes in your ammo. So like a base recipe, just get really good at making the Cajun oyster beer butter mushrooms, which was so good, but honestly we ate so many of them. And then going on and making the other things in there. But yeah, it's separated into 3 things, so it's like you can do it in one pot, in one pan, or in the oven as well. So yeah, all sorts of really good things. I have yet to make these sticky cauliflower bites, and I keep looking at them and thinking they look lovely. But yeah, really, really love that book. So great book. And then this one is one that I bought last year. So Minnie got this for David for Christmas last year, and that's Pizza Pilgrims book. So Pizza Pilgrims is a chain, well, a small independent chain of pizza restaurants in London. David and I have been to them a few times, and we've always really enjoyed their pizza. And last year I decided it would be a really good idea if I got David something that would enable him to get good at making pizza throughout the year, which, guys, my plan paid off, because he is amazing at making pizzas. He only made pizzas for me last week for my birthday. And yeah, this is a great sort of like, it looks great because it looks like a pizza box, but as well as having like your base pizza, your dough recipes that David has followed, and then like some gorgeous toppings throughout, it's also got like really cool sort of like cultural stuff. So like the best fictional pizzerias. It also has like pizzas of the world, what it's like elsewhere. And yeah, it's just a really fun book to sort of flick through. Pizza loving celebrities. Let's have a look. Kate Middleton. Royals are no strangers to the divinity of pizza. Kate Middleton is said to be an avid pizza lover, and while on many trips to the US, she often indulges in a royal pizza featuring prosciutto and sausage toppings. So yeah, all sorts of fun sort of like cultural bits in there, as well as other stuff. Pizza Box Art is a really nice book, but also, like, let me tell you, it delivers in terms of actually making good pizza as well. What Minnie did when she gifted David this, she bought David the Pizza Pilgrims book, and then with Pizza Pilgrims you can buy a pizza at home kit as well, so she also bought him one of those, and we were due to have it on New Year's Eve, but there was a problem with the courier and it didn't arrive. Boo-hoo, so we had it another time. But yeah, would highly recommend their pizza at home kits as well, so Pizza Pilgrims are great. And then lastly, on to 3 fiction books, all of which were on the long list. I don't think they were on the short list. No, they weren't, because my favourite one wasn't on the short list. Not my favourite one, my second favourite one. They were all on the long list of the Women's Prize this year, so if you want to go and check out that whole long list, I'm sure you'll find something great. But these 3 books were all on the long list this year, and are all absolutely brilliant fiction books that I think anyone would enjoy. So Claire Fuller, Unsettled Ground. This is about a set of twins, Jeannie and Julius, and they're very different from other people. They're 51, so I really enjoyed reading about sort of an older protagonist, and their mother's just died. Now, they've always lived sort of like outside of the community. They don't have phones or anything like that. Neither of them have sort of like solid jobs that they keep going to, and they sort of like grow all their food at home and things like that. And now their mother's died, they're potentially facing eviction from their house, and they need to negotiate things like that. It's a beautiful, beautifully written book about life in living in a rural area, but also really focuses on rural poverty, which isn't particularly Christmassy, but also isn't an area of that I'd read much about before. And yeah, I really, really liked both Jeannie and Julius, the protagonist, but very, very much enjoyed that. And then one of my favourite books of the year, Detransition Baby by Tori Peters. I couldn't believe this didn't make the shortlist of the Women's Prize. I feel like I keep going on about that, but I really couldn't believe it. And this is a story about Reese, who was in a relationship with a trans woman. So Reese is a trans woman in a relationship with a trans woman called Amy. Amy decides to detransition and become Ames, and Ames gets his boss pregnant. So there is this sort of like triangle of one trans woman, a detransitioned male, and another woman, and this potential baby that is happening, and how they can maybe negotiate this as a relationship, and what would their family unit look like, and things like that. I learned so much from this book, as well as really enjoying the story and really enjoying the characters. I felt like the characters were really well written, and yeah, would highly, highly recommend it as well. And then lastly, the book that won the Women's Prize for Fiction is Piranesi by Susanna Clarke. I've just been round to my sister's house and borrowed this from her because I bought it for her birthday. This is just like, I don't even really know how to describe what's going on in here, because it's sort of mad, but I loved being involved in it. So you're following Piranesi, who lives in this big sort of hall. He calls it the house, but he makes notes in his notebook every single day, and the only other contact he has with somebody he calls the other. He meets them on a Tuesday and Friday, and he talks about what he's discovered about this place where he's living. And his life seems to be very much that, and he's talking about these different like massive halls that he lives in, and one has water coming into it, and one is where the gulls live, and one is where there's a pile of bones and things like that. And that seems to be his life, or is it? And then more sort of unfolds from that. But yeah, you're reading it as a sort of diary that Piranesi's written. I was very endeared to Piranesi throughout as well. Really, really loved Piranesi as a character. But yeah, so there we go. Those are the books. And then should we move on to the last 2 little bits? Because I might have to go and make myself a hot chocolate now. Hot chocolate made, and can you even guess what my next gift guide recommendation might be? If you've been involved in any of my cozy reading nights or live shows, you might well know that David, for his birthday this year, got a Velvetizer from Hotel Chocolat. This is sort of down the luxe end of gifts, and this is like would be a main present for somebody. It's a big spend out. I think they retail at about $89.99, but I believe you can get sort of like if you sign up to their website, you can normally get a 10% off voucher and things like that. But yeah, the Velvetizer is sort of like, I guess it's a milk frother, and I will definitely insert some footage here of me and David making a hot chocolate. Should have done it for this one really, but I just wanted to get it down me. It velvetizes the milk that you make. So you put the milk just into the Velvetizer, you add hot chocolate, and their range of hot chocolates is amazing. I'm currently drinking a peanut butter, but they've got all sorts from like, and ones that will just cater for all sorts of what you like your hot chocolate. I quite like dark hot chocolate. David really likes super sweet hot chocolates, so he likes the white chocolate and vanilla flavoured one. There's a chili one, there's a ginger one. I love the ginger one, it's got quite the kick. Hazelnut praline, all sorts. They've got some Christmassy ones out as well, salted caramel and clementine, mince pie. And then you just pop the sachet of hot chocolate into the Velvetizer with your milk, and I always use oat milk in mine. So I'm not vegan, but dairy just does not agree with my skin basically. So I always, when I'm eating a lot of dairy, I'll always have like, when I'm eating something that involves a lot of milk, I'll always have oat milk. So the oat milk velvetizes just as well as cow's milk. And yeah, and you put your chocolate shards in there, and then it just like does some sort of magic. It makes it, honestly, it like thickens it. I can't really work out, like people say, is it like a milk frother? And I guess in some ways it's like a milk frother, but I've never had hot chocolate like it. And with your kit, when you buy this Velvetizer, you get 2 of these gorgeously designed, like very ergonomically designed mug cup type things, and they've got really good, it just holds the exact amount that you would need for a velvetized hot chocolate, and also just feels really nice when it's got like nice holes for your fingers to go in and things like that. So yeah, I can't get over how good it is, and like I always thought, is the hype behind this worth it? But it is absolutely delicious, really, really lovely, really, really nice gift. And you could also just sort of like warm your milk up in it as well. If you just have hot milk, you don't need to put hot chocolate stuff in there. But yeah, a really, really good gift to sort of pimp up the old hot chocolates. God, that's lovely. I don't really want to put it down. And then the last gift is an experience. And again, this is something that I received. So last year for Christmas, my sister got me a Jamie Oliver online cookery course. The first one we did, because we've done a lot this year now, was for a North Indian thali, and it's an online cookery course, not instructed by Jamie himself, but by his cookery school team. There's a team of 4 cooks who sort of take it in turns to show you, like based on what cookery course you're going to do, to show you the steps. You have to buy all the ingredients yourself and everything, and you can do it from the comfort of your own home. So you know the kitchen, you know everything around you, and as many of you as you want can join in with this cookery course, because you're just doing it from your computer. So me and David, throughout lockdown, we did quite a few of these. So we started with the North Indian thali one, we also did the pasta one, and we also did the fajitas one. I think that was a Mexican street food one. And then I bought one for I bought my mum the Vietnamese one for her birthday, and me and my mum did that round her house in September. But yeah, there's a whole host of different ones you can do, and also all of them can be tailored to vegetarian or a vegan diet. So the North Indian thali one, which David and I did, was a vegetarian course, but every single other one, oh no, the pasta one was vegetarian as well, but again can be tailored towards can be tailored for vegans. But the other 2 we did, the Vietnamese and the Mexican one, were meat ones, but it gives you a whole list of like things that you can replace it with. And they're just really, really fun ways to spend an afternoon or an evening. It takes about 2, I think it's a 3-hour course, and sort of you learn a few little skills. And as I said earlier, I consider myself like a good home cook. Like I'm pretty nifty with knives and things like that, but I've always gone away from one of these courses having learnt a new skill. The North Indian thali one, for instance, learned how to make chapatis, and now I just think, why did I ever buy chapatis? All you need is chapati flour and then you're good to go. Really, when we did the pasta one, it showed you the proper way to cut an onion, so that was really good. So I always come away from something with a new skill from them, and they're £29 for a 3-hour session. Now they do shorter sessions, which are a bit cheaper, and they do longer ones which are a bit longer. And you can also go to Jamie Oliver's cookery school, which I believe is in Islington in London, and you can just go there and do the courses. But I've really, really enjoyed doing them in my own kitchen. And yeah, as I said, I've experienced it as a gift, and I've bought it for other people as a gift, and I've just done it myself as a treat. So yeah, very, very, very good experience to do. And if you are a beginner or even not beginner, like they're so kind, and they really wait for you, and they really sort of like are there for all your questions and everything while you're doing it. So a great experience, and you get a lovely dinner out of it at the end. So that's the old Christmas gift guide this year. Let me know what you thought of it. Let me know if you think you'll be gifting any of these guys, or if any of these things I've mentioned, or if there's anything here that you think you would fancy. And yeah, I'll see you all again tomorrow for another Vlogmas video. Cheers.